let me bring you the two teams with Walker in goal for Colchester, back three of James, Kent and Krenker, Jackson, Lapsley, Zimonich, Murray and Reed are the midfield five, with Dre White and Mandon up front. Gil Martin, Kinsella, Vincent Young, O'Sullivan, Slater, Isa and Johnson are the substitutes, with the head coach being John McGrill. So good evening to you guys. That's the Colchester lineup. As I said, they'll play a back three. They'll play a 3-5-2 formation here at the in this cup tie. Aston Villa make 9 changes, with Jed Steer in goal, a back four, Bree, Chester, Chris Sambu came on the substitute on Saturday, and Bunyanson, Adoma, Hurbahan, Anoma and Green are the midfield four, with O'Hare and Scott Hogan leading the line up front. On the substitutes bench, Mark Bunn the goalkeeper, Delat, Clark, Lansbury, Doyle Hayes, Hepburn, Murphy and Davis, with Steve Bruce their manager as well. They're going to go flat 4-4-2, and hopefully that will bring them a bit of success today. That's the two lineups as well. Marvellous occasion. Aston Villa in the dark shirts, by the way, with the claret stripe across the middle, and really an opportunity now for Aston Villa to actually win a good opportunity. They haven't won this trophy for 20 years. They last won a trophy back in 1996 when they beat Leeds United 3-0, and coincidentally Leeds are in action tonight in one of 4 or 5 games taking place, and of course Bury against Sunderland is the other game taking place tomorrow. The draw, incidentally, for the second round will take place tomorrow evening after the Bury Sunderland game. We won't be covering that match because I'll be busy with other things and filming Let's Talk Football. So an atmosphere here at I was going to say Layer Road. There's a few empty seats over on the far side. Colchester in the blue shirts to get this game underway. So the Carabao Cup is the actual name of it, and it's Chesterfield, or Colchester I should say, in the stripes. Getting us away, attacking the goal to our left. Villa, of course, in the dark shirts, as I just said to you a moment or two ago. So we're all set then for what could be an important game here at Colchester. Big cup tie this. It's their first home match of the season. They're in League 2. They had a bad defeat at Aki Stanley, mind you. Preston, they lost. I think they lost something like 3-1. I think on Saturday. But Accrington Stanley knocked out Preston North End last night, and can Colchester follow suit here at the Community Stadium here in Colchester, of course, tonight, as Aston Villa go forward, but it's hooked back across and away again by that back three of Colchester. Of course, they're no stranger to giant killing hacks, the Colchester side. 1971, remember Ray Crawford and that against Leeds in the FA Cup? Well, they put pay to that opportunity then in that particular competition. Dave Simmons got the other goal, of course. So as I say, it's going to be, I think this is going to be a really tough evening for Aston Villa. It will be tough, I think, all the way around in this EFL competition. I really do think that. Ball goes back to Jed Steer in the Villa goal, and all fluorescent green goalkeeper's jersey. Kicks clear up the field. Good big kick by him. And now Villa have it on the far side with number 20 Bjarnson infield again. Bjarnson trying to get a Villa player forward. I think it was young Green, I think, who was tripped there, or rather was tackled there. Free throw into Aston Villa. Now they have it inside their own half. Remember, just to remind you of the teams, just to remind you actually, the referee incidentally for tonight's match is John Brooks, the referee. John Brooks is the referee for this crucial contest tonight. Football League referee of his own distinction. As Colchester tried to work something here with the number 7 and fell for Mandron there. In fact, Mandron was fouled, so a free kick to Colchester in a very promising position, and I'm sure Mike Claret will have a vested interest in this game because he actually lives not too far away from this stadium. Been there a couple of times before. As James on the right hand side gets it forward down the line. course, the Premier League teams that are not in Europe, and the likes of Burnley and West Ham and a few others, and then Bournemouth and a few others like that, and Newcastle, will all come in the round 2. So I think that would be, I think that's when it all hots up. And then the teams that have in Europe, namely Tottenham, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Everton and Arsenal, they all come in the 3rd round. There's John McGrail, former Burnley manager, of course. So I didn't actually know he was the Colchester manager until I did some prep work on the game a couple of days ago. So yeah, so John McGrail is the manager, of course, as that ball goes back to Walker. Walker kicks away with his right foot up and over the halfway line. Remember, League 2 against Championship here in this first round of the League Cup. And the ball forward here by Colchester up towards Mandron, and now Reid has it on the left hand side, and Reid does well to keep the ball back, and the ball goes forward again down the left hand side, the Colchester left, and Reid has it again, plays it in field, tries to turn right, and Reid again takes possession in field to Lapsley, and Lapsley does well, gets it over to Murray over to the far side now. Good football here by Colchester, and here's a chance now for Wright to try and get on the end of it, but he can't, and the ball's back with Jed Steer, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. As I say, nine changes in the Villa lineup today, although they have a lot of experience, Chris Samba being one of them, Conor Hourihane and Hogan as well. Billy Arson has played in the Euros, of course, for Iceland last year, of course, and did really well to get to the quarter-finals, where they famously defeated England in a game that I will never forget, the game I famously commentated on. Michael's on tonight. He wonders who will get in the second round. Well, you'll have to find out in about 24 hours time. I'd like to know how you think about the Gray situation, and anybody who's not watched my video, do so after the match today. But we're not going to talk too much about Andre Gray. We will be following their progress, Burnley, without Andre, of course. I think he's mad to go to a rival. I do think that, as Barik fouls Lapsley there, and a free kick it is to Colchester United. Tom Lapsley there, number 4. I think we've got a decent cup tie here, folks. I really do. I think. Well, I can tell you a little bit about. The referee actually had an inspection. He's been actually raided in Colchester for most of the day. I'm sure Matt Claret would, if he's on tonight, would surely back me up on that one. The groundsman actually had a plastic cover on the pitch for most of the day, and then he took it off about an hour and a half before the kick-off. And here's a chance though, as we just break off for a second, here's a chance now for Villa, real opportunity, but Walker's there, but the goalkeeper's lost it, and it's got in from Hogan. The goal is going to be given, a mistake by Walker, and Aston Villa going to the lead. And the goalkeeper's complaining, was there an offside? He's absolutely furious, Walker. Let's have a look, and there's a couple of Colchester players complaining here to the referee. Well, a bit of sorting out perhaps for the referee to do. Let's try and sort out here. I've just got a replay in front of me. The ball forward down the right, then he went in field, I think, to O'Hare. The ball forward again, I think it was O'Hare with the first effort. Goalkeeper lost it. I think they're claiming a foul on the goalkeeper. I have to say, I think O'Hare was entitled to go for that, although I don't. And also there was the fact that there was an offside here. It's green. It's green that makes the break. Goalkeeper completely loses it there. It's a greasy surface, so the ball's going to be greasy. But the question is, was Green interfering with play as that ball was knocked in the net? Meanwhile, it's a penalty! A penalty to Colchester United! It's all happened here in the first 7 minutes or so. Chris Samba has been a judge, and I tell you what, the referee here has had a lot to do with already. So Mr. Brooks has given a controversial goal to Villa. Now he's given a penalty to Colchester. Well, that's sort of, well, I'm not sure whether that evens up the score or not. It is again. Oh, I have to say that is a penalty. He's cutting from the right hand side, and no doubt it was a hack there from Samba. He's pretty lucky not to Escape with a yellow card. Now Mandron here has a chance to make it 1-1. What a comeback this could be. It's going to be left-footed against Jed Steer. Shortest run up. He runs up left-footed, and Jed Steer has saved it. Well, it's all happened here in the opening 8 minutes of the game. What a cup tie we've got our hands here on at the Community Stadium. Here it is again. Wasn't in the corner enough. Goalkeeper guessed right. Dived away to his right. And guess right, it was a great save from Jed Steer. Really good piece of goalkeeping. But Colchester have a corner. It should be an equaliser, but the penalty wasn't going to. Corner taken short. Down the left hand side. Lovely ball lifted in there by Reed. And Reed's cross was only headed half away. Now Colchester going for the kill again, looking for this equaliser. The shot in and just wide. And just wide of the target from something like 20 yards out from Mandron. And a goal kick it is, but it should have been 1-1. From the penalty spot, really. Well, a bit of a left off there for Aston Villa. Samba definitely seconded the ball, and no doubt about that. And then the penalty, I think he made his mind up a bit because he knew he was going to go left. You knew he was going to go to the keeper's right as we looked, and that was, well, John McGreal will feel that's a chance missed. It's perfect cup tie weather for the underdogs. Colchester, of course. Just before all that controversial moments, the penalty decision and the goal that could have been given, the pitch has been playable. There are quite a bit of surface water off the surface, and it's absolutely tippling down with rain here at the moment as Brig runs in, and then another foul there, and I think that's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. And well, it's Conor Hourihane who's been fouled, the former Barnsley man. And well, it's all happened here in this opening, what we in nearly 10 minutes ago of the first half, and Aston Villa here have a good opportunity to make it 2-0. And Adomo can take the three kicks. Hourihane is up behind that one. Might favour the left footer. Maybe Adomo with the right. Goalkeeper Walker making sure that four-man wall is 10 yards back and making sure that he can have a good view of things. I think it's going to be the right foot. No, it's not. It's the left foot of Hourihane, and it's straight down the goalkeeper's throat. It was easy enough. The goalkeeper was right position and he got the wall spot on, and he made sure he covered his side of the goal, which he did with great distinction. Well, I'm just thinking, is there there's a lot of controversy now. Green goes forward. In fact, Hogan could be offside from the first phase of play, and then Green could have been interfering with play as Hogan knocked the ball into the empty net. Now, I'd like anyone who's listening here to have an opinion on this. It's a bit of a grey area. Should that goal have been disallowed for offside? And if so, was it for offside? Who was the one that should have been correct offside? Should it have been Hogan for the initial run, or should it have been Green as he was? Could he have been interfering with play? Let me know in the comment section to the left hand side. Actually being talking to by the referee. I tell you what, he's had his hands full, the referee, in this opening sort of 12 minutes or so, almost 12 minutes. We've got 11 and a half minutes actually. And of course, well, Mr. Brooks, the referee, has had a lot to do. Keep you abreast of what's happening elsewhere in the League Cup. Just to remind you that if it was to end level after 90 minutes, we would go to extra time, and if it was level after that, then we would have a penalty shootout. So we will get a decision in all rounds of the League Cup. Well, of course, the semi-finals are played naturally over two legs, although one would argue we could have a neutral venue like they do in the Scottish League Cup, where we could have semi-finals and possibly a final and a neutral, well, semi-finals at a neutral ground. I think that would be better, and it will give the competition a bit more valuation. So Colchester 0, Aston Villa 1 is the score. It's the second time we've covered Villa in a matter of days. Of course, they drew 1-1 in our opening match of the season at Villa Park when Jared Bowen scored a super smashing goal for Hull City. I couldn't resist the bullseye phrases that night, and I couldn't resist it then. As Villa now start to charge forward, it's been a rip-roaring start to this cup tie. It's been pretty good down this. Pretty good at the moment as Villa cut in from the left-hand side and win a free kick. And Somanic is absolutely furious with the referee as we see a replay of the run there. I think it was Anoma there who went in, cutting from the left-hand side and went crashing down there just on the edge of the penalty box. Now the referee is having a word or two with the number 10 there. Lapsley trying to calm his colleague down. He's the captain of Colchester. Now just a free kick and just a ticking off, I think. So it's still Colchester United 0, Aston Villa 1 with 13.5 minutes gone, just over in fact. Villa have a free kick to the left of the penalty area, probably about 20 yards from goal. Might be a shot here from Hourahan. Might fancy this with the left foot. Indeed, he's floated that in towards the back and towards the centre yard box, and the header's gone wide from Scott Hogan, the goal scorer. So lovely flighted free kick in from the left hand side, and Hogan just needed to be a bit more accurate, I suppose, with the header, and it was a free header as well, just wide of target. So 1-0 for Aston Villa, could have easily been 2. The rain still teeming down here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. Well, this game is taking place, as I say, it's been absolutely teeming down with rain in Essex all afternoon, as number 37 Adoma runs down the right hand side this time for Villa, and he's sold Bree down the river, and Bree now has to get back as Reed now starts a canter forward, tries to find Mandron, who'll be desperate to make up for that penalty miss earlier on in the half, as we come up towards a quarter of an hour gone in this first half here. Colchester 0, Villa 1. First round of the League Cup. Well, in fact, were the first winners of the Cup back in 1961. Peter McFarlane getting the winner. In those days, the final was a two-legged affair, home and away, and then it went to Wembley some 7 years after the competition had started. In fact, a number of the top teams never actually entered the competition in its first year. It was only when he went to Wembley in the late 60s when the bigger teams really started to take it a lot more seriously. As the ball over the top will find Jed Steer, who made that super save and scores to deny Mandron in that first half so far. The rain just absolutely tippling it down here at the moment. Going to be a tricky one for goalkeepers, Jed Steer and Walker at the other end. Walker has found out how greasy that ball really is as the ball goes forward, and Chester knocking that forward, but the ball headed out for a Villa throw on the halfway line. So, well, the cameraman can just about make out Steve Bruce. There's a lot of water on the lens there, as I see, and here's now a chance now for 36 O'Hare to make a dash. One of the young lads as well as experience in that Villa lineup, but they'll be wanting to take this very seriously. They have won this competition 5 times. 1960, as we just see the cross coming in, they won it in 61, they won it in 75, 77, 1994 and 1996. Latest scores to bring you: Crewe 0, Bolton 0. Leeds United are winning 1-0 against Port Vale. Oldham are drawing 0-0 against Burton at Boundary Park. And at Bramall Lane, a bit of a shock on there. Sheffield United at the Championship 0, also a League 1-1. So a couple of possible, well, at least one possible shock on here in this tonight in the third round. We've seen Preston fall by the wayside early doors to Accrington Stanley. Not easy place to go with the Crown Ground, as we found out last year with Burnley in the second round, and how infuriating it was for every Burnley fan. I remember doing the commentary that evening, and I think it was probably the only other occasion apart from the Iceland game about 14 months ago where I actually chucked the headset down in absolute disgust. Burnley here, no such problems. They're 1-up and the free kick on the left hand side knocked away, but only as far as Adoma. He'll go drift out to the walls the right hand touchline. Plays it in towards Samba. Samba controls, then back to Adoma. Adoma now just looking to try and get across and tease the Colchester defender. Samba's in quite a lot of space just further to his left there, and he has to play it out to the left hand side. And Villa just keep possession, the dark shirted players, and now Hurahan takes over and finds number 16 Bree. Bree's ball was not a great one, and Bree in with a second tackle and a race play on, and Adoma's stolen in inside the penalty area, and it's an own goal by Kent, and it's not looking great at the moment for Colchester. 2 goals conceded in the opening 20 minutes, and in between the 2 goals a penalty save. Villa go 2 up here, and it's looking very, very tough now for Colchester, even at this early stage, to come back. Well, they may be a bit more controversial about that, because it probably looked a late challenge by Bree, but the referee allowed it to go on, and the cross from Adoma was a teasing one, and Kent, well, all he could do was prop the ball into the back of the net. He tried to clear it for a corner. He knew Hogan was waiting in the centre, and in the end you've got to feel a bit of sympathy for young Kent, who just turns that into the net, and it's now 2-0 to Aston Villa with just 19 minutes of the game gone. And here Colchester again looking to get back in business. Chance here inside the penalty area. Oh, the ball's been kicked off the line. Somovich was in, he knocked it goalwards, but the ball just held up enough for Chester to knock it away, and that would have given Colchester a bit of hope then. Lovely run down the right, ball cut inside, Reed and Mandon knocking it forward, and Somovich couldn't finish it. And it's a corner kick to Colchester from the right hand side, right footed, lovely low corner, back in there again. They try to turn, I can't see who it was. It's a bit of a gold mouth scene there as they appeal for a penalty. Colchester, it comes out to the number 4 Lapsley. He has a shot, he's charged down, and now and Colchester again coming forward again, shot coming in and wide, this time for a goal kick. But a marvellous little spell there for Colchester. Back winger, I think, had the shot in the end. There was a bit of a crowd scene inside the penalty area. Shot got off. They appealed for a penalty. Referee didn't want to know. And then another shot that was charged down. Well, his hands are down. I don't think you can give a penalty. I think the referee's probably got that one right. Mr. Brooks, the referee, getting that one absolutely and utterly, in my opinion, spot on. You see penalties given for less, I suppose, in a league game. But there's going to be a lot of talking points maybe during the game. You are welcome to comment. Please keep your comments, however, if you are commenting, please keep your comments nice and clean. We do and know, and also don't show any more links to the game, because we are trying to get ourselves a nice little fan base on this particular channel. And you will be thrown off and you will be chucked off. I can guarantee you that much. But it's Colchester 0, Aston Villa 1, and it's looking, as we come towards the halfway mark of the first half, there's Chris Samba trying to help Villa get back to the Premier League in the second time of asking. That's a loose ball, but Bree just nicked it away from Adoma down the right hand side. Now Adoma can run at 2 Colchester players here. And back inside to Bree. Bree back inside there and given away, but he says it's up well to Aston Villa, who lead by 2-0. And at the moment look a little bit comfortable, although Colchester have made it a little bit more tricky for them in terms of the way they've applied themselves and gone about their business. I've got to say that. 1-0 is the score, 2-0 sorry is the score at this specific moment in time, as Villa try to come again and score a third. Colchester have possession on the far side. And the ball back across. And in the end it came to nothing, this opportunity for Colchester. I was just looking at some of the other scores, trying to flash through. There's a foul there, ball back across, and it missed everybody inside the penalty area. But to no avail for John McGreal's men, who trailed by 2-0. And I'm sure the former Burnley player will look on with his bewilderment towards the referee. So we've had 23 minutes of the first half, halfway through it. Colchester 0, Aston Villa 2. An own goal by Kent and Hogan getting the first are the difference at the moment between these two teams. League Cup first round. Carabao Cup, I think that's how you pronounce it's an energy drink of some description, Carabao. I think I pronounced that correctly. I didn't want to try and pronounce it, I thought I'd let someone else try and do it. It's the Carabao Cup, but we are calling it the EFL Cup on this channel. I'm not a fan of energy drinks, and I would not try and promote them in any way, shape or form. As Villa go looking for goal number 3 here on the left hand side, ball back towards Hurahan. But it was dealt with, but not very much, and well, it's Villa keeping the possession rather well, and looking to carry it off with a third goal here and at this early stage. That's a good ball towards Bree on the right. Bree's cross towards the penalty box. Difficult one for goalkeeper Walker. Greasy ball, greasy conditions, rain teeming down here at the community stadium in Colchester, but well handled, did really well. Now Ken Penworth gets it forward, now a chance here, and here's a chance now for number 19 Mandron trying to atone for his mistake, and that's surely a foul by Adoma, and it will be a free kick to Colchester. 25 minutes of the first half gone. Colchester 0, Villa 2. Remember, if Colchester was to somehow get back into the game and get level, we would have extra time, and if level after that, possibly penalties, as we just see a picture there of a floodlight on the screen and rain steaming down. You could, if you're watching this game on television, you can just see the rain really pouring down, and the conditions are not brilliant. Reed will take the free kick with his left foot, and there's 2, 4, 5, 6 Colchester players inside that penalty area. As Reed floats that ball towards the back post, and again a header was won, but it was charged down, and it's hooked away as far as number 2 Jackson on the halfway line. Jackson gets it towards the left hand side. Reed in a bit of space on the left. Reed will cut or try and take on Adoma. He gets to the byline and comes off Adoma, and it will be a corner kick for Colchester United. 2 goals ahead in this game. Looking very strong indeed. Certainly are Aston Villa going through, but can Reed provide something here from this corner? Left hand side, left footed into the penalty area, shot back in right footed, about 20 yards from goal. It was charged down by the Aston Villa defenders. Now away come Villa again, through in the middle, but it's hooked away once more. Still 2-0 to Villa in this EFL Cup first round tie I should say. Going 2 rounds ahead there. You can tell what time of season it's been for me. Here come Aston Villa now down the left hand side. Lovely 1-2 played, and that will run out of play, and it will be a goal kick to Colchester United. Now it's still a little bit of debate. They're still running replays. I think Hogan is definitely offside, but was he interfering with play the first time? And then there's the other problem, was Green interfering with play the second time? And then there was the issue with the second goal, was Bree's challenge very excessive and very dangerous in the wet conditions? Well, it was allowed to go on by the referee, and the goal's been given. So he's made a good decision in giving Colchester a penalty, for which they've spurned. But then again, the two Villa goals look at an element of dodge about them, to be fair. But it's but the goals have been allowed to stand. I'm sure John McGreer will have one or two issues with the referee. We'll try and get interviews with the two managers post-match as well, and we hope to leave you about 10 o'clock tonight. If not, we will. If we are going level, we will go extra time. We will stay with you to the duration, but at the moment, as things stand, it could well be Aston Villa going through. Leeds, remember, were winning at Port Vale last we heard, and also winning at Sheffield United, and obviously 0-0 in the other two games. And it's 2-0 here in our commentary game between Colchester United and Aston Villa, who are probably one of the favourites to get back into the Premier League next season. They've spent quite a lot in the side, spent quite a lot of money in the side. They look a decent team. I was really impressed with Bonwaho's work rate, certainly for the first 40 to 50 minutes of that game on Saturday. Really did really well, I felt, in that first match, and scored a marvellously taken goal. A throwback to his earlier days when he broke into the Villa side and he played without absolute fear. And here come Villa again, looking for this third goal. Shot coming in from about 30 yards, and it's deflected away by Green, or it was well wide of target by Green, I should say. Goal kick to Villa. So 2-0 to Villa, and Steve Bruce will be quite contented, although one would get the feeling his team, well, we've had 39% possession Colchester and 61% for Aston Villa in the first 29 minutes of this cup tie. It's good to have cup tie football, domestic cup tie football, back on the JB Clark YouTube channel. There's some right old rambles in the cup last year, of course. That magnificent result for Sutton United in the FA competition at Gander Green Lane, where they knocked out Leeds United on that 3G pitch. Had a good result at the weekend, Forest Green, in the National League, beating recently relegated to League 2 Leighton Orient by 2-1. And if Orient fans thought League 2 was difficult, they're now in for a real shock here in the National League, as Wright was fouled just about midway inside the Aston Villa half of the field, and they have a free kick here, Colchester. No doubt that was a foul there by Bjarnason, the Iceland man. And this time a free kick to Villa. Nothing came of that opportunity there for Colchester. We're inside the last quarter of an hour of the first half here at the Western Homes Community Stadium, where Colchester trail Villa by 2-0, and Jed Steer with the free kick about 25 yards out of his goal, midway inside Villa half. He's going to go, well, he's trying to roll me here. He's gone left footed, and he's gone towards the right hand side with it, looking for Adoma. Adoma flicks that on, looking for Bree. Bree wins the header, and in the end the ball came off a Villa man last. It was number 20 or number 14 Hurahan, and it's out for a throw. 4 goal attempts to 3 in favour of Colchester, but the ones on target is the one we are more concerned about. Colchester have had 1 on target, that was the penalty miss, and 2 have gone in the net for Villa. Well, 2, well, certainly 1 went in the net, and obviously the other one was an own goal. I think that doesn't count as a shot on target because it deflected in. Villa have a free kick quickly taken, and Green has lost it, and a chance here for number 35 James to get it forward. Now Kent loses out there, and here's a chance now for Adoma. Adoma trying to make things happen here. That's a good tackle there. That's a really decent challenge there by James. Did really well. Villa have a throw level with the Colchester box, and it's going to be number 16 Bree to take it. Remember, Villa 2 goals ahead here in this game. And Adoma tries to keep it in. He won another throw. Yes, he will. Just a yard or two before you get to the corner flag, or the corner quadrant, if you like. Bree will have another chance. In fact, 5 or 6 yards from the corner quadrant, in actual fact. And the throw's been taken quickly. Bree with a dangerous looking cross. It was looping a little bit, but the goalkeeper, walking under no great pressure, takes possession of the ball quite calmly. And can feel that no problem, despite it being a horrible surface out there, a lot of surface water. But the referee was adamant the game was going to go ahead, and so far I think it's been a decision that's delighted a lot of people here from Aston Villa's point of view, as Wright tries to make something happen for Colchester down the right hand side, but 2 Villa defenders converged on him and they conceded a throw. Samba concedes another throw here, and Colchester now have a chance level with the penalty area of Aston Villa. Now, can they do something? Can they do something here with this throw? They need something here before half time, you suspected, with about 12 minutes just over to go before the break here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. In fact, the throw's gone short, and then the ball played back into the penalty area, but not a good ball in from Jackson, and it's an easy one there for Jed Steer to pick up in the end. It was, in fact, there was a couple of Colchester players offside anyway, so the referee was quite right to let that one go, because the ball had gone for Jed Steer in the end, and it was easy enough. That's Villa 2-0. Mr. Brooks, the referee, will come in for a bit of stick from his namesake John McGrill. John Brooks, as I say, is the ref, and he hasn't had a particularly good first half, I have to say, although he did get a decision right when he gave Colchester a penalty when Samba absolutely took him out. One ball over the top, but that will reach Walker, no problem. Walker in an all green goalkeeping jersey today, or tonight rather. Here's a chance for the number 16 Murray to come forward. He's got Reed out on the left. Reed now will run at the defender. Reed crosses in from the left hand side. Chance is still in there, but the ball, or the header really from Mandron, I think he tried to header it back from the far end of the penalty area back towards the 6-yard box, where Samodic was waiting in the middle. Bury Sunderland tomorrow night, and then the draw for that one. Remember, LTF on Saturday morning. Myself and Mike Clover will be discussing Premier League predictions, how Burnley will do for the season, although I suppose the talk will be about the loss of Andre Gray to Watford. I think around about £18.5 million he's gone for, according to some sources. But you know what my take on that is, and if you've seen my video from earlier today, you'll understand why. But I'll try not to get on my soapbox tonight, because it's all about, this broadcast is all about this match between Colchester and Aston Villa, and goal kick to Colchester. 10 and a bit minutes left of the first half here at the Western Home Stadium, as the ball gets tossed in there towards number 19 Mandron, but he can't reach it. And now a chance here now for Villa to go searching for that third goal, hunt away for that third goal, and really give their visiting supporters even more reason to celebrate here tonight. Been a really tough first half for Colchester. I haven't had the bulk of the refereeing decisions from Mr. Brooks, but I have to say though, Villa have been rather professional about the way they've gone about their business so far. That's a foul. No, it's not, says the referee. John Brooks was on the scene, and the referee Brooks just said, right, get up. That's no foul. Now then, Penga, can he get that one forward? It's up towards well, it might still drop here for Colchester. It's right now through the middle, right now into the penalty area. Chances here, shot comes in from Simonic, and it was a good save just to the left of the penalty area. The shot from Simonic, and it was well saved by Jed Steer. Corner taken quickly. Here is number 12 Kapenwa. Kapenwa now tries to run to the byline. Good tackle there by Adoma. Leggy striding legs that just slide away. There was a bit of a shirt pull on Adoma. Referee allows it to go on. The ball now over to the far side, the left hand side of Aston Villa, and here they come now looking for this third goal that would really give them that impotence there. No foul again. And I think it might have been Adoma. Onoma, that's the name. I got Adoma and Onoma mixed up. But we are in sort of radio territory and not television commentary, so sometimes it's easy to get away with it. As Lapsley plays that ball out to the far side. Now what can they do with this now, Colchester? They need to get a goal back here, and Wright has won a corner. Now this will get the crowd buzzing a bit now. Some lovely football here from Colchester, and as you see, Samodic gets his shot in, and Steer just scoops it away for a corner. Big opportunity here. It was on his left foot, and he struck it well, but it's a corner. And again, it will be floated in towards the penalty area. They all went for it, and it's headed away by Villa. Then a shot back in from something like 20 yards out. He took a deflection and he's gone in. So Colchester have their goal, and it puts them back in the game. It's Kent who wipes out his own goal. It was a bit of a pot shot with his left foot, but he took a couple of deflections here, something in a region of about 25 yards out. It's a super finish. In fact, it's Kent. It was the number 17 Reed who had the shot, and in fact Kent got the final touch. Kent's headed back, and then it was Wright with the shot, and Kent got the deflection. I thought he deflected off a defender, but it didn't. And in the end, Kent has wiped out the own goal he's got with a super goal himself. And Colchester are back in this tie. That cup tie is very much alive. It's on now. Colchester 1, Villa 2 here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. And what a cup tie we've got our hands down here. So Kent wipes out the own goal he's got, redeems himself. And plenty to ponder for Steve Bruce. 2-1. Great first half here in the rain at the Community Stadium in Colchester. In deepest Essex, of course, where Frankie Kent, that's actually his first goal for Colchester, so a great favour with his cap. If in fact gets his side back into this cup tie, which it has done, and it propels them to maybe go on and shock Villa, then he will have more than made up for his earlier effort. So Frankie Kent on the score sheet at the right end as well as the wrong end, and he scored at both ends, if you like, in this first half. 5 minutes to go to half time, just under, and it's a throw to Villa, level with the penalty box. What a game now, what a game. I'll tell you what, well, drama and entertainment value, this game, and talking points, this game's had it all. Villa have a throw then. They were looking comfortable at 2-1, at 2-0, now it's 2-1, throw short to number 34. And in fact it's out for a goal. In fact it's out for a goal kick. Number 14, Hurahan, I should say. So, well, that has got the Colchester fans well and truly on their feet here. We'll bring you up to date with all the scores from the other games. But another goal and no further scoring from Colchester would mean extra time. And here's a chance now for the number 10, Samodic, but he's offside. And he won't go further forward because the flag had already trapped him. And he was about half a yard off in the end. It's a good decision by the linesman on the far side. Very eagle-eyed. Well, if it stays the same way at half time, it's a real shot in the arm for Colchester, because they look dead and buried at 2-0 down. But one thing I will say about them, they have fought very well against Villa. It was always going to be a tough ask. The 2 goals they had against them were certainly controversial ones. But having said all that, they fought hard, they've played well, and they've got themselves back in it, and they've got to just stay in with a shout, get to half time at least 2-1 down, if not get to 2-2, and it gives them an opportunity to go and attack in the second half and really say to Villa, come and get, right, we're going to attack you, you're going to have to try and keep us out for as long as we can. But it's Villa with a throw level with the penalty area, and I'll get a second go through Bree. 2 minutes and 10 seconds of normal time to go. Throw taken to Adoma, back to Bree again, down the right hand side, good cross in, but well defended by Colchester, and away by Kent. Couldn't do anything about the own goal that went against him, but he certainly pulled one back with a marvellous little flick after the initial shot from Reed. I think it was goal bound, but Kent with that deft little touch wrong-footed the goalkeeper, and here, despite him diving to the right where the ball ended up going towards his right, the goalkeeper's right that is, and the ball just had enough legs to beat him, and obviously zipped across this very greasy surface. It's been raining in Essex all afternoon, but at the moment it's going the way of the Villa, but it's a very slender lead now. Remember, when we get to half time we'll have a 5-minute break so we can catch our breath, and then after that we'll bring you all the half time scores in place in this EFL competition, and then the whole of the second half live. And if it was to end level, a draw, then we would have extra time. If it was to end after 90 minutes with the two managers, certainly John McGreal would like to hear from, certainly at the end of this, because his side have been on the wrong end of a couple of possible controversial decisions which has led to 2 Villa goals. Steve Bruce now a very worried looking manager, I'm sure, as we go into the final 30 seconds of normal time, and it'll be down to the 4th official down below to see how long we'll have going into the extra period. And really it's been quite a first half really, as Adoma has it down the right. Adoma now infield to Bree. Bree knocks that in towards the penalty area. Hogan was surely offside, and the goalkeeper had saved anyway as he hit his right-footed shot, but as I said, he was offside, and a goal wouldn't have counted. 2 added minutes at the end. We're now 10 seconds into the first of the 2 added minutes, that is, and I should also stress it's a minimum of. Hogan was definitely offside. Free kick to Colchester rather. On ball forward, an opportunity here for Colchester to just try and stay in it and get into the second half if they can, in the certainly as the second half wears on. As a chance here for right, ball back in across, soon might be a chance for 2-2. It was a bit of a scramble in there, then a header back and just over Steer's bar from about just outside the penalty box. I think it might have been Murray with the header, but Villa there in a bit of a trouble. Good cross in, Reed couldn't get on the end of it. There was the header back, and just over the top, in fact, yes, it was Murray, but it was tipped over in fact by the goalkeeper. So it will be a corner, floated in towards the near post, headed away. It will be another throw. We're now into the second of 2 minutes. Can Colchester get themselves a late equaliser at the end of the first half? Throw taken quickly. Jackson on the right hand side. Jackson teases his man, gets the ball in towards the penalty area, hooked away, but Villa keep it in play. 30 seconds of the 2 minutes to go, and still Colchester having a good little go in this latter stages of the game, or the first half rather. Murray coming close with a header from about 18 yards out, which nearly looped over Steer, who flipped it over the crossbar. But a first half really littered with talking points, as we prepare to take a 10-minute break here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. As we come towards the 2-minute play, the referee Brooks takes his watch and blows for time here at the Western Homes Community Stadium in this first round of the League Cup, and Villa going 2-1 ahead. Goals from Hogan, a home goal from Kent, and then Kent getting one back. Bit of controversial moments with the 2 Villa goals, but that is the situation at half time. Also, Colchester missed a penalty at 1-0 down soon after Hogan had put Villa in front. But plenty of talking points. What do you feel about the 2 Villa goals? Should they have been goals? Well, let me know in the comments below. But right now, I'm going to go and have 5 minutes, take a 5-minute break. After that break, we'll bring you up to date with all the latest scores in the League Cup that are taking place so far tonight, and then we will have the whole of the second half for you live, full second half commentary lives. So don't miss it. But with a half time, but as we take a break here, hard time score in this League Cup tie is Colchester 1, Aston Villa 2, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back to the Western Homes Community Stadium. Just to keep you abreast of what's happening elsewhere tonight, 4 other games. Crewe 1, Bolton 0. Leeds Port Vale is now 1-1. Oldham and Burton are still no goals. And Sheffield United 0, Walsall 1. All half times at the moment, as well as this game working live for you here at the Layer Road. So we're just waiting for the teams to come out, and they are back out for the second half. And well, we're ready to go then. Can Colchester get that equaliser? I don't think there's anything else. Louis FC, good evening to you. I hope you've subscribed to me as well. I have subscribed to you as well. So Villa in the dark shirts to get us away in this first round of the League Cup, and away we go. And Mad Clarity is on. Good evening to John. Good evening, he says, and good evening to you as well, as Villa get us away. 2-1 ahead, but Colchester making a real fight of this first round of the League Cup. And of course, I won't try and pronounce the sponsor's name because it's a very difficult pronunciation, so I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to stay safe, play safe, and go with the League Cup. And away we go then. So Colchester in the blue shirts, they're going to be attacking the goal to our right. They missed a penalty as well. 2 goals that look very controversial. Let's just recap the teams. With Colchester, with Walker in goal, as they go forward again. A chance here inside the penalty area here. Ball right. Can he turn? There's the crossing from the far side on the near side, and it's headed away. An opportunity there for Colchester to get back in the game. And they nearly got back level in this tremendous cup game. It's just about beat the weather. There was an inspection, just to remind anyone who wasn't tuned in earlier. As Matt Carrot will testify, the rain has been pouring in Essex for quite some time today, and there was probably an inkling that the game wouldn't go ahead this evening. But the referee decided to have an inspection at around about 6:30 this evening, and the game was passable. Game was passed to play, and it's a good job it was. Otherwise, we would have focused our attention instead to Leeds versus Port Vale, which is another televised fixture. So we were lucky to get this game on at all. That's thanks to the referee, of course. The referee, in fact, is John Brooks, and I can tell you the attendance, 6,603 inside the Western Homes Community Stadium this evening. And at the moment it looks as if Walsall are on course for being the biggest shockers in the tournament, because or the evening rather, because they're beating Sheffield United by a goal to 0 up at Bramall Lane. As Villa now looking to try and get that third goal, which would take them further away. There's the shot coming in from Hogan with his left foot, but it's well fielded by Walker, diving away to his left. Flag stayed down. Hogan did well. Got his shot off with his left foot, but the goalkeeper, as I say, diving away to his left, did very, very well. We've had about in fact we've nearly had 3 minutes of the second half here at the Western Homes Community Stadium, and it's Colchester United 1, Aston Villa 2. And just to remind you, more live football again in just under 48 hours time now. We're in very rainy Colchester, but we're in the luxurious Emirates Stadium for the first match of the new Premier League season. Arsenal take on Leicester, and again, you can join us at the same time. And of course, LTF will be back on Saturday. Myself and Mad Claret 94, and I'm sure he's listening to this. We also have a new channel, imaginally called LTF ourselves, and there's also the Kawani Legends series as well. As Bellico go forward again with a shot, and it's over the top from O'Hare with his right foot, just clearing the crossbar. And a goal kick it is to Colchester, but O'Hare just taking the possession on the edge of the area, about 20 yards out, smashing it there, and just clearing the Colchester United crossbar with that one. Wasn't a lot to spare. Might have nicked the bar, the top of the bar. Callum O'Hare, number 36. As I was saying, LTF will be tomorrow night. We'll be actually filming that, and then it will be going out either Friday night or Saturday night. Saturday morning, I should say. depending on what Mike Claret can do. He's a very busy man, of course. We'll be discussing our Premier League predictions, which I need to make during the day tomorrow, and of course the situation at Burnley regarding the transfer policy and the Andre Gray move away, which has left a bitter taste in quite a number of Claret's mouths. I've been reading all day on social media, and I've done a video. I'm sure most of the Burnley viewers who subscribe to me will have seen it. I'm sure Chris Whiteman, my good friend who does LTF with me, Mike Claret of course, will have probably seen the rant, and I'm sure he'll have his own views of it on LTF tomorrow night, on LTF at the weekend. So me and Chris will be back with LTF for the new season and for the next 9 months, and hopefully we'll be doing some special World Cup editions of LTF as well, because of course it's World Cup year, and of course on this channel that is no exception, because we will be featuring the World Cup as well towards the back end of the year, as well as this competition, the EFL Cup. We will be featuring the FA Cup, a few more games from the Championship, Premier League, and for the first time European football comes to the channel, because we'll have from the third qualifying round where we'll see Liverpool in action, UEFA Champions League live and delayed coverage of that competition all the way to the final, as Colchester now come streaming forward as they try to look for this equaliser through Reid, and he's won a corner. Reid, an opportunity here now. Villa just on the back foot with nearly 6 minutes of the second half gone. Can they get themselves back into this game, Colchester United, and make a real fist of this second half, as James and Kent both come forward, but the corners went short and it was rather wasted, I have to say, from Colchester's point of view. It's out for a throw about 15 yards inside the inside the Aston Villa half of the field. Doma wasn't going to be fooled by that. Now Reid has it again on the far side. Reid tussling there, but Doma winning it there. Him and Bree have had a good match so far, and now opportunity here for Villa as they make a break through O'Hare on the far side. O'Hare cuts inside and then slips on the turf, but the referee, I think, is given well, what's he given here? Free kick to Aston Villa. O'Hare was it looked like O'Hare was tripped, and he's hurt himself in the process. It's very tricky conditions out there on the field this afternoon or this evening. O'Hare must have dislocated a finger, because he's absolutely grimacing there with pain. 7 minutes of the second half gone. Free kick to Aston Villa. 2-1 in front. It's a tight cup tie at the moment as that ball comes in towards the 6-yard box. Header on, and it was O'Hare inside the penalty area, went in for the header, but it was thrown in the arms of Green, Walker I should say. And now a chance here for Green down the left hand side. Green now running at the defender. Green still going. Can he get the crossing? Green was there, but it's good tackling back there by Colchester. The ball's run dead. I think a free kick's been given to Colchester United. Excuse me. And there was a dangerous tackle there from Green. I think the referee's making a note of that. I think he's going to book Green for that. Yes, he is. Must admit, I didn't see the incident fully. There's the cross. Lapsley getting in there, and well, the camera angle we've seen it from is not very conclusive, I have to say. So Andre Green, I should say, has been booked for that one. So we come up towards 8 minutes of the second half, and it's Walker with a free kick to Colchester, still trailing of course here by 2-1 at the Western Homes Community Stadium. Villa hook it out for a throw, almost over with a penalty area. James Chester, the experienced centre half, the leader in the Villa lineup, captain for the night. John Terry, who is captain now, club captain for the season, not involved in the 16 tonight. He's been rested. He had a decent debut for Villa, of course, on Saturday night. Here's a chance now with a shot. Oh, and it's all wrong from Murray in the end. Left-footed shot from about 25 yards, and it's wide off target. So, at the moment, Leeds looking like going to a replay. It's not the FA Cup. It looks as if Leeds are heading towards extra time. Oldham and Burton heading towards extra time. And as things stand, Walsall look like knocking out Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Be a great result for Walsall. Decent side, of course. Walsall. Let's be back, bring you the latest scores from what we've got. So as you can see there, Colchester 1, Aston Villa 2. Crewe 1, Bolton 0 is currently a score, and in fact Leeds and Port Vale are drawing 1-1. Oldham are trailing 1-0 to Championship side Burton. That's 52 minutes gone down up at Boundary Park, and at Bramall Lane, of course, Sheffield United 0, Walsall 1. So plenty of action happening up and down the country. And of course Bury versus Sunderland up at Grigg Lane tomorrow night, and the draw for the second round, which Burnley will come into as their Premier League, that will be on the same night as that cross comes in, but it's well taken there by Walker. Dolman again with the cross from the far side. Walker again under no great pressure, taking possession of the ball. 10 minutes of the second half gone, just over in fact, and still 2-1 in favour of Aston Villa, the Championship team. Looking just to try and avoid this potential banana skin. Of course their rivals Birmingham had a very big win at St Andrews last night, and Steve Bruce will want to make sure that both Birmingham sides are in the draw for tomorrow night's second round. That's a foul there by the number 18 Onoma, so a free kick to Colchester, which they've taken quickly now with Reid out to the far side now. Chance here now for Colchester to really show what they're made of. They're right back in this game at 2-1, but they need another goal. Remember, extra time and penalties could happen here tonight if it ends a draw after 90 minutes and it's level after 120. But here come Aston Villa looking to try and get back into this, trying to get back into a 3-1 advantage here. As I say, it's been a decent game. Plenty of excitement involved. And still remains 2-1 here as we are live from the Western Homes Community Stadium, and as they come forward again, Colchester looking for this equaliser, and Bengway loses out this time, and now Villa can come away with Adoma. The leggy Adoma, he's had plenty to say for himself. I have to say, we looked at the replays at half time when I was having my 5-minute break, and Adoma did look offside on that second goal, I have to say. And in the end it was a pretty clear-cut thing, I have to be honest. But at the moment it's still 2-1. A referee, in fact, we've just lost footage there for a minute or two with some communication problems all around the ground. And here we are, we're back live with the action now, and it's a foul here, I think, by O'Hare. Late challenge there on Reid, so a 3 kick to Colchester. In fact, Cameron O'Hare is now cautioned for that. So it's a 3 kick to Colchester. Into the mix once again. Header one inside the penalty area. Still might drop to a blue shirt. It might drop for Reid on the edge of the area, just to the left. Reid now cuts in towards the left hand flank. Chips it in towards the penalty area, and goalkeeper Jed Steer takes the ball under no great pressure. A little bit of an offered opportunity there for Colchester, but just couldn't get that door ajar. Excuse me. 14 attempts to 4 in Colchester's favour. The home team having the better of the actual goal attempts on target, however, as O'Hare breaks down the right. They are leading 4-3, in fact, the home team, but Villa have scored twice. As an opportunity arisen again for Aston Villa, trying to make it 3-1 and get through. Jack Taylor 21, good evening to you. Good at commentary, to be honest. Thank you very much indeed for your comments tonight, Jack. That's very kind of you. 2-1 Villa lead. Here's an opportunity now for Villa to come forward, but they've lost out, and Colchester now is just getting a little bit scrappy a little bit, but now a chance here for Jackson on the far side, but it can't keep adding. In fact, right, sorry, not Jackson. But it's out of play. Colchester get a throw just midway inside the half of Aston Villa, and it's going to be the number 2 Jackson to take it. Jackson now back to right to Jackson again, just a flurry of 1-2s on the right hand side, and then Lapsley has it, plays it out to Belenka. Later scores: Crewe 1, Bolton 0, Leeds United 1, Port Vale 1. Oldham have equalised against Burton. It's 1-1 there, and Walsall still hanging on in there at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United. 1-0 the lead, the West Midlands side, as Aston Villa, another team from the Midlands, comes forward again. Adoma now on the far side. Adoma's cross charged away, and it will go out for throw, I think. Couldn't really tell from where we are. I think he's going across to take it, so it must be a throw. It literally is about a yard or so from the far corner quadrant, and Bree looking for options. Odoma is there, having to shield the ball from any interception that Colchester might have had in mind, and now they have possession here with number 19 Mandron, who missed that penalty in the first half, you may remember. And the big leggy Chris Samba did really well. Been a tough game for Aston Villa so far. They were favourites by the bookies. Colchester have made a game of it. 2-1. Anything could still happen. We've got just under half an hour to go for stoppage time. But here's a chance for Hogan inside the area. Chance here for Hogan to knock the ball back across, but the referee has blown for an offside, or a linesman has flagged for an offside, and a free kick in fact to Colchester. Hogan was about 2 yards off. Well, about a yard off it in actual fact as the ball was played. So the linesman got that decision spot on. Not really anything to write home about yet in the second half, however, about controversial decisions. I think the referee has refereed it very, very well in the second half. A couple of dodgy decisions maybe. I think the referee probably got the first goal right, because initially Hogan wasn't interfering when play. The only difference I think was when Green trying to knock the ball in on the line, and that could always cause a little bit of confusion. Piazza now infield to number 18 Onama. Now Green, number 19 on the left hand side, and he takes on the defender, tries to beat him. Onama again takes possession just to the left of the area, still on the left hand side of course. Good ball in field now, a chance here for Hurahan. Hurahan's shot beaten out by the goalkeeper. It might come to Hogan on the rebound. Hogan trying to get the shot off, and then it kicked off the line, would you believe, from Adoma by one of the Colchester defending. And I tell you what, it could have easily been 3-1 and possibly game over with 63 minutes gone. That's how long we've had KF Gaming. And Benji, good evening to you as Villa come on the break again. Shot coming in, and another good save by Walker, turning the shot away, and Colchester now just hooking it out, and a couple of a real flurry there for Villa attacks, almost ending up being the third goal, which would have probably given Colchester in real layman's terms probably far too much to do. 2-1, they still trail, so they're still in the game. Here's Chester inside his own half to Samba, his defensive partner. The 4-4-2 formation working for Villa at the moment, but Colchester still holding in there. Colchester 1, Aston Villa 2 is the score, with 63 and a bit minutes gone. 63 minutes and 40 seconds. We're into the 64th minute of the game. One ball forward towards Hogan, but the flag was onside, but it was a good defensive work done by Colchester. But now here comes Villa again. Ball played in there towards Horeb. Remember, him and Green are the two men that have been booked so far, and no yellow cards so far for Colchester. And I have to say the referee has done terrifically well. Nice to see AV football. Aston Villa fan, of course, and I hope you listened to the other match we covered between you and Hull on Saturday. It's been a professional performance so far from Villa. I think they've got to be favourites for promotion back to the Premier League, and I think they deserve to be a bit higher in the league are in the pyramid than where they are now, I have to say. Do subscribe to the JB Claret YouTube channel, and we'll subscribe to your channels as well. Meanwhile, Tom Lapsley, the captain, is going to come off, and Craig Slater, number 24, will take his place as Colchester try to get some fresh legs on for the remaining 25 minutes or so that remain. And was a good save there from, and then Hogan, well, losing out again, and then back to one off the line as well. In fact, the guy who cleared off the line the second time around was James. Really good defending back on the line as Villa come again with Adoma looking for that third goal. Remember, Bree with a cross in there from the right hand side I should say, and the ball knocks back out again. Now Onama has it. Onama goes forward, looking to try and get himself going. Bjarnason back to Onama again, just playing the ball down the left hand side row. Now they're going field. Now Sambo takes it on halfway, still inside Colchester territory. Colchester 1, Villa 2 is the score here at the Western Homes Community Stadium here in Deepest Essex, as that ball is crossed in, but it clears the crossbar and it will be a goal kick. O'Hare with the attempted cross, but he got the cross a little bit wrong, the young man, and it's a goal kick. Well, it's all happening here at in Deepest Essex. Let's see what's happening elsewhere in the other games, just to keep you abreast. There's been some scoreline changes in at least one of the games. As you see here, as you've heard, it's 2-1 here. Crewe 1, Bolton 0 is still a scoreline. That could be an early exit for Bolton then. Leeds are 3-1 up against Port Vale at Ellen Road. Oldham and Burton are still at 1-1, and Walsall, with 24 minutes left, are still beating Sheffield United by a goal to nil at Bramall Lane. That could be the shock of the night, arguably so far, unless things desperately change around here in Colchester's favour. And it looks as if they're going to make a change here, Aston Villa, as they look to try and see this through to the next round. Remember the draw for the second round of the League Cup, where all the non-European participating Premier League teams all come in, and then the likes of Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Everton, Tottenham and Arsenal all come in round number 3. So obviously we're into the infant stages of cup tie football this season, as Bella looked to try and get a third goal, and there's a player injured down on the floor. I have to say the referee has not had a bad second half. A little bit all over the place in the first half, although he called the Colchester penalty correct. Steve Bruce having a word or two to say down on the dugout. Colchester about to make their second substitution of the match, and it's Reed that's going to come off, and the number 3 is about to come on for Colchester, whose claim to fame was the 1971 giant killing of Leeds in the FA Cup. Lewis Kinsella is the man about to replace Kyle Reid. He's done really well up and down that left hand channel, and a chance here for young Hepburn Murphy, who's one of the substitutes for Villa tonight. He's going to come on, and of course we're just waiting to see who's going to come off here. Didn't get a good view of that fourth officials board, but we know it's Hepburn Murphy that's going to come off, and I think it's Adoma, is it? No, it's not. It's Onama who's been replaced, and young Russian Hepburn Murphy will come on, the young Villa youngster. Charlie and Molly, I think new to the channel. We've not had you on before, but thank you very much for joining me tonight. With Chris Porter being Colchester's top scorer and scoring a decent 16 goals, I'm rooting for the Brown Whites to get through. So yes, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's good to have new people looking in, and the same goes for the Aston Villa football clubs and more. It's good to have you on board. It's nice to see a few of the fans of both teams involved. It's good to see that, and good to see Villa and Colchester fans being represented in the comment section. It's great to have you with us, with me and the regulars like Matt Claret and Benji and Kevin Benson and a few others that always comment. Panini, we haven't heard from him in quite a while as away goes Walker, sliding away, playing Manuel Neuer with a sweeper keeper system, and Smodic has forced a throw from Chris Samba. Well, we're coming up towards 20 minutes to go, and it's all happening here. Well, it's all happened here in this second half. Lucky Colchester, remember, I've got 20 minutes exactly to find an equalising goal, otherwise Villa will be going through to the second round, where the draw will take place after Sunderland against Bury at Gig Lane tomorrow evening, and that will be a real humdinger of a game. Sunderland, of course, looking to bounce back after last season's massive disappointment in the being relegated, of course, to from the Premier League. And well, 2-1 it is the score at the present moment here between Colchester of League 2 and Aston Villa of the Championship, and I think they should be a Premier League club. They are Premier League Cup in all but the league. So 2 substitutes used for the home team, 1 used for Villa, and Chester back to goalkeeper Steer, who saved a marvellous penalty, saved a penalty as well, but had no chance with the little flick from Kent, who's pulled one back. And Colchester have broken the offside trap now. They look to try and force an equaliser, and here's the chance here for Murray. Murray might wind it up on his right foot. He does so, and he just goes wide at the far post into touch for a goal kick, but well, he's certainly not afraid to hit it, young Murray. Caught it well on the right foot. It was a sweet right foot shot, but just lacked the accuracy required really to hit the back of the net and beat Jed Steer, and that would have been some goal if he'd have managed it. I think Steer, no, despite the fact that he was diving away to his right hand side, would have had the goal covered anyway, or the post covered in fact, and header back there by number 2 Jackson. But it's been a highly competitive game as we look at another substitution here for Aston Villa, their second of the game. We've got Hepburn Murphy. I don't think he's any relation to Hordry Hepburn, as Jackson comes forward now for Colchester, who still trail 2-1, and ball over the top, but Jackson was not going to run onto that one. He was never going to reach that one. A goal kick, and allows number 19 here to come on, and in fact it's Hogan who's going to come off. He got the first goal, we'll forget, and that debatable one, and Keenan Davis is the man who's going to come on, number 39, as I say. So with just over 17 and a bit minutes to go, Matt Claret comes back with a nice little joke about the weather. He says, Chris says, you've got to love the weather down here. Well, it's monsoon weather in Essex, but the game very much on here, and I think it will be played to a conclusion. I'll be very, very surprised if the referee abandons it now, because the ball, to be fair, has been moving quite freely. It's been a marvellous exhibition of free-flowing attacking football here in this cup tie tonight. So Davis is on, so Colchester and Villa made 2 substitutions each, as Colchester look, it's trying to win the they've won a goal kick here, Villa. Steve Bruce's side have been in the game tonight, there's no two ways about it. Whilst we have a break in play, let's keep a check on what's happening in the games elsewhere. 2-1 here in this game. Well, elsewhere it's Crewe 1, Bolton 1. Bolton have equalised. Leeds now are still 3-1 up against Port Vale. Oldham and Burton, that looks a really good game up at Boundary Park. 2-2 now between Oldham and Burton. But still, Sheffield United 0, Walsall 1. They're hanging on in there. Steve Bruce, Walsall, a fellow Midland side along with Villa, and they're hanging on in there. With 73 minutes gone at Bramwell. Could be the shock of the night. Oldham back in the, as I say, against Burton, 2-2. Leeds 3, Port Vale 1, and Crewe and Bolton at 1-1. And here come Colchester down the left hand side, ball towards the penalty area, but well taken again by Jed Steer, who's had a marvellous game tonight. Had no chance with the goal, got a little deflection which took it past him, McLaren has been on well. Steve Bruce mentioned he was impressed by the groundsman for keeping the pitch covered for most of the day. Well, that is quite true. I have tried to keep abreast with what's been happening during the day. Obviously, with the let's just check those scores again. So Crewe 1, Bolton 1, Leeds 3, Port Vale 1, Oldham and Burton, as I say, 2-2. But the big shock could be at Bramall Lane, because Sheffield United 0, Walsall 1. What a result that could be for the Saddlers, as Villa look to try and join Walsall potentially, and Birmingham City, of course, and West Bromwich Albion in the next round, of course, as well. So still the Midlands team's very much alive in this year's EFL Cup, as that ball comes in towards the penalty area, and it was a chance there, but Bunyarsson, the Iceland man, steers it out for a corner. Colchester lucky for this equaliser. Down the left hand side it was. Lovely way to cross in, and Wright was waiting at the back post, and they're going to have to throw so many men forward here for this one, as number 24 comes in there. The cross comes in towards the back post, goalkeeper having to fist it out, and now a chance for Hepburn Murphy to turn away. Hepburn Murphy away. Good play that by the Villa man, but he just ran into too many obstacles in the end, and the ball back. In fact, a yellow card has come out. I assume it's a professional foul. Hepburn Murphy was the man penalised, or the man fouled, and in the end a yellow card has been awarded to Murray for the tackle. Just pulling Hepburn Murphy back there. As I say, he's no relation to the late great film icon Audrey Hepburn. Sean Murray then booked first of the campaign for him, or first of the season for him. Just under 13 rather and a half minutes to go here. Plus any time added on for stoppages, as we look to try and see if we can get an equalising goal here. With oh, that's a late one there, I have to say. On well, he's not. Well, it's been given, but Bunyarsson has fouled his man. Oh, has he? Yes, he has. Referee was adamant. There was the ball played in. It was Jackson. He shoulder charged. I'm not sure that was an elbow offence. Well, he's been. I'm not sure whether he spotted it or not, but. So we've still got 3 players on the yellow card. Green and O'Hara picked up bookings for Villa. Murray has picked up the solitary Colchester booking. Now Colchester have a free kick in a very promising position, and it's a number 24 behind it, and that's Slater. Can Slater play this one into the penalty area with his right foot? It's going to be a right-footed ball into the penalty area. 2, 4, 5 blue and white shirts in the penalty area. Can Colchester, with 12 and a bit minutes to go, 12 minutes 20 seconds to go, get the equalising goal? In fact, it's been, well, it was came in, and the goalkeeper didn't hold it on the line. It was I think it was the left-footed, I think, of Jackson, and it almost caused a problem or two there for Steer. He did actually well to keep it out at all. Jackson is still forward on the right-hand side, but he's offside. So a free kick with 12 minutes to go to Aston Villa, and it was, in fact, it might have been the number. Well, it was Kinsella with a free kick, in fact, and he almost caught Steer out. He did well, and Chester helped him out. Hooking away left-footed. Chester was not the first choice here at Villa Park. Of course, he is the backup goalkeeper, or to put it more into the 21st century, he's the cup goalkeeper. And well, it's been a good game of football. We'll try and get interviews with the two managers. Just to fill you on the possession front, Colchester have had 40% possession. Aston Villa have had the 60%, and have kept the ball pretty impressively, although Colchester have really made a fight a bit here, as we now go into the closing stages with about 11 minutes plus stoppage time of this first round cup tie to go. Remember, winners placing in round 2 for the winners, and a couple of the ties already could well be on their way to extra time. All games in fact kicked off at 7:45 tonight, And just to remind you guys of what's coming up on this channel, we've already told you about LTF, Let's Talk Football, with myself and Mad Claret. Now let's tell you about the live commentary that's going to come up on Friday night in the Premier League, and that is between Arsenal and Leicester, where we see the debut of Alexander Lacazette. He looks a really impressive player, but what we saw in the Community Shield a couple of days ago, he looks a real player. Should have scored in the first half at Wembley that day, but hit the post. Now we're live from 7:30 as Villa just break down the far side as the ball comes in from Davis, and the ball only half out. There's the shot back in, deflected away by Hua. Well, it was Hua's shot, and then the shot back in. It's well wide in the end. But I think it was Hepburn Murphy who got an Onomad. Sorry, he struck it, and it's wide with 10 minutes to go. So we'll see Lacazette's Premier League debut against Leicester, and it will be the start of Craig Shakespeare's first full season in charge, because he took over 3/4 of the way through the last season when Manieri was sacked in, I think it was late February, early March. Shakespeare, I think, will have a drop to prove. They got Iheanacho for about 18 million pounds, and I think that's a really good buy for Leicester. We'll get plenty of goals there for them. Speaking of which, here come Villa looking for a third one, and they might get it here because the flag has stayed down. So a chance here for Hepburn Murphy. Keep possession here, take on his defenders. Hepburn Murphy to the byline, does well, skinned a couple of players, got the cross in, headed away by Colchester. Now they need to get it forward, the men, the men from Essex. And here they go again with Jackson. Jackson bombing down the right hand side, being tracked all the way by black shirted Villa players. But here's a chance now inside the penalty area. First the shot deflected. Good save! Good save. Just steered down and away to his left. He got a deflection which made it awkward. Samodic's shot was a really well hit shot. Jackson had done terrific well, bombing down the right, and he takes a little deflection there off the defender, which makes it so awkward for the goalkeeper, but he makes a marvellous save with his left hand and diving away to his left too. So close for the equaliser. Meanwhile, third substitution of the night is going to be number 9 here. Johnston, Danny Johnston. Now then, can he come on and make an equaliser? Dre White has gone off. Corner kick in towards the penalty area, towards the back. Johnson was also lurking there as well. Ball on the Colchester left hand side, but Villa doing some good defensive work. Hepburn Murphy got it away, but it is a free kick to Colchester. And now that with about 8 minutes to go, it's all happening here. In fact, it was Davis who was penalised for pushing down the Colchester man. So a chance here now. Zamonic was the man that was fouled. Free kick to Colchester in a very dangerous position, almost 5 yards from outside the area on the right hand side. It's almost the corner. It's almost the corner basically, 5 yards from the corner quadrant. It's going to be whipped in right footed in towards the penalty area. It's a crowd scene. Samba got that one away for Villa. Still Colchester have it, and then they've lost it, but have it again. They have a throw, in fact, and they're going to have to take it very quickly, almost over the Villa penalty area, and they'll get a corner for it or rob a throw. And Ashley Mottering has been on. A question for any Burnley fans in the chat. Charlie Taylor worth 4.5 on fantasy football. Here is the best left back in the Championship last season. I think out of the signings we have made, I think he's one or two brilliant signings for Burnley. The other obviously being Jack Cook. But we'll get back to that in a second, because we've got a throw here for Colchester. Level with almost a 6-yard lock. So long throw into the penalty area towards the 6-yard box. Flicked on and in the post, but knocked away by Villa. Colchester now going for it now as we're coming towards 6.5 minutes left in the second half, and the ball knocked in from the left, but it's away for a goal kick, and Colchester wanting to get on with it very quickly. Oh, there was a few hearts in Villa mouths there. This was the shot from Samodic. Good shot, and it's a good save, and it gets better every time you see it from Jed Steer. That was a really remarkable save, and if that goes in, it's 2-2, and the odds on extra time would have absolutely shortened without a shadow of a doubt. Richie Delat, former Leicester City player, will come on for Aston Villa. Villa looking to just waste a little bit of time, I suppose, and just get the clock down. Andre Green will come on with 5.5 minutes left. 2-1 to Villa. But what a fight Colchester have made of this, and what a good fist. And John McGreal, former Burnley defender, now manager of Colchester, should be proud of his troops, really, because they've made a real decent fist of this cup tie. I think they'll be okay in League 2. I think they'll get out of it, although they had a pretty bad start away at Accrington, but it's not an easy place to go to, is the Crown Ground. Certainly when John Coleman has got Accrington buzzing, as Preston found out to their cost, as their EFL campaign ended at the first hurdle at Accrington last year. Well, let's hope Burnley don't get Accrington away tomorrow night, or we'll never hear the end of it. Five minutes to go. What a decent cup tie this has been, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you've enjoyed it at home. Whether you've listened to my commentary on the live stream with the television turned down, it's been a marvellous occasion as Colchester go in search of this equaliser. We've got about just over 4.25 minutes to go, and what's the referee giving here, Kit? Well, he was. Thought for a moment he was going to book somebody there, and he is. I think it's the Colchester man, and it's the striker Zamodic, and it must have been for a foul here on number 2, Richie Delatte. Yeah, late challenge there by him, free kick and a yellow card, I think quite rightly given. Sami Somic is now in the book, and that is the 4th player. I make it now in the referee's notepad, and we've got 3.5 minutes left of the contest here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. You'd be better off pausing that to Leeds fans. We've barely seen him play, let alone if he's too good, if he's good enough for the EFL, so EPL I should say. I would like to know what Mike Clarett's verdict is on the transfer policy at Burnley, because I'm sure we'll have plenty to say on our LTF programme, which we'll be filming tomorrow, but we'll be going out for you on Saturday morning. And well, John McGreal can be proud of his team's efforts here tonight, regardless what happens to Colchester now. They've really made a fight of this cup tie, and I think they'll do very well in League 2 this year. I don't think I've any fears about that. I think they've had a bit of a nightmarish start to the season, I have to say, but having said all that, they've really given in and really given everything out on the field tonight. Team spirit, they've not given in. I mean, they've still got a couple of minutes plus stoppage time to go, so anything could still happen in this cup tie. Remember, in any cup, whether it's the EFL or the FA Cup, anything can still happen. Cup tie football is a very, very funny way of cup ties have a funny way of leveling themselves out. That's why we love cup tie football in this country. So just over in fact 2 minutes still to go, and it's still 2-1. Look at the goal attempts. We could have had more than the 3 goals we've had tonight. 18 attempts to Colchester, 13 to Aston Villa, and the shots on target may read very good. 6 to Colchester and 8 to Villa, and I'm really surprised that we haven't had more than the 3 goals we've seen so far tonight. That really does amaze me, really, not in the least. Meanwhile, Colchester looking to try and hit back with an equaliser, but can't succeed. Or succeed. Well, they've had a good goal tonight. You can't knock them for that, Colchester. They've really given it their best shot, but in the end I think Villa just about will have enough in the old motor tank to see them over the line, and I think they've had a good goal tonight at Colchester. Villa have a free kick last minute of the game, and already the free kick taken up towards down the left hand side rather, and hooked away by Colchester, looking for the equaliser. Onside is Mandaron now, down the right, can he get the crossing? Samodic is waiting in the middle. Up towards Samodic, in fact. Ball knocked away and it just cannoned away for Aston Villa. Hooked away now as we come up towards the final 30 seconds of normal time. Out comes Walker. Walker gets it away. Now then, chances here now for Colchester. Can they get the equaliser and force an extra half an hour? They've got a chance here. Samodic's shot. He'll try again. Samodic again. And wide it goes. In fact, it wasn't. It was Johnston. I apologise. Johnston with the shot. And he's hit it into the crowd for a goal kick. Had the first goal, hit the defender. And then had another goal which went just wide. And John McGreal has his head in his hands. We've played the 90 minutes. 5 more minutes to be added on. And still a chance for Colchester. The crowd can sense it. Can they lift the players for one final effort in the remaining 5 minutes that remain, or will Villa go ahead and score a third one? As Hurahan plays it out to Adoma. Adoma now on the far side. Adoma will try and cut him. Sorry, it's Hepburn Murphy now. Hepburn Murphy turns back in. Adoma was replaced, of course. It's been a long night, a long day in the world of football. Now a chance here now for Colchester to break out, but it was stopped there. And now an opportunity now for Villa to come forward and try and get that third goal. Chester gets it forward, just throws it in there towards Onoma, and Onoma has been fouled. Free kick to Villa. We've played 1 minute of the 5 and it's still 2-1 for Aston Villa. It's a slender lead, but on the balance it's been a really interesting spectacle. And it's been a game that has been ebbing and flowing all the way through. As Walker now tries to usher men forward, up towards the penalty box it goes. Headed away by Chester, the centre back. Headed on again by Aston Villa. They'll get a throw for that. It's been a very enjoyable game to be involved with, and it's been one of the more remarkable games we've seen for quite some time. As that, well, it could have been a third one there for Villa, but it's just over the top. In fact, just to remind you of all the other scores taking place around the country after the final whistle's gone here. But it's been an absolute cracking cup tie, played in a terrific spirit. Just the 4 yellow cards, as I said, and I've really, as a commentator, it's a commentator's real dream to have a cup tie of this magnitude. As Villa have a corner, as we're now 2 minutes and 30 into the 5, and that's Davis being hustled out of it. So a goal kick to Colchester, and they might want to get on with it very quickly because there's not much time left now for Colchester United. They've got about 2 minutes of the 5 to go, and Davis was on the chase, but good defending again by Colchester. But Villa have it level with the Colchester half. They unsurprisingly haven't brought too many men forward. And Bree to take it short again. Bree will try once more, gets it forward and wins another throw. 1 minute and 40 seconds or 35 seconds of stoppage time left to go, and if Villa can hold out for the remaining time that remains, they are through to the next round of the EFL Cup. Second round draw in fact takes place tomorrow. There's a clear handball there. He wasn't going to get away with that. And a free kick to Aston Villa, 10 yards inside the Colchester half. Bree with a kick, right footed, over the top again. And well, it's gone. Well, we'll check on the other scores. as once the final whistle's gone and we've wrapped up this game, we'll try and get an interview with one or two of the key men here tonight, and of course Steve Bruce and John McGreal before we leave you tonight. 1 still, 2-1 to Villa. No change in the scores here at the Western Homes Community Stadium, but one last chance for Colchester. They have a free kick. Murray to take it. They may as well just throw everything at it now. Try and force extra time if they can. It's going to be hooked in by Kinsella. Excuse me. People can't wait to look. Kinsella's free kick, and it's gone way out into touch, and that's surely the last chance gone for John McGreal's side. But what a performance they've put up. It's been a great fight they've put up, but in the end it just wasn't enough against a very efficient Villa side who've come here, been very professional. Steve Bruce's teams always are. He tries and takes the cup very seriously. 2-1 still Villa lead. We've now played 10 seconds over the allotted 5, and I think once Steer kicks this one away, I think the referee Mr. Brooks will bring an end to this game, and indeed he does. And Steve Bruce and John McGreal share a handshake here down on the near side as the final whistle is blown here at the Western Homes Community Stadium. 2-1 Villa have won it, but what a cup tie and what a fight that Colchester United put up. Goals in the first half from Scott Hogan early on, and then a piss penalty from Mandaron after Samba had brought him down, penalty given, and then but Mandaron missed it. Good save by Steer going away to the right, and then a second goal, a ball whipped in by Adoma from the right, but turned into his own net by poor old Kent. But he really did redeem himself towards the end as the shot came in. A little deflection took it wide of the goalkeeper, and in it went for 2-1. To be fair, Colchester threw everything at it but just couldn't get the ball away. So Modic has forced a very good save from goalkeeper Steer, who did really well. I have to say both keepers did really well considering the conditions and how difficult the surface was. Charlie and Moya were Colchester fans. A fair play to Aston Villa. We peppered the goal all night but haven't won, but disappointed, but the Aston Villa keeper played really well. Fair play to Villa, but yeah, that's good to see. Nice sporting acknowledgement by our Colchester fans there, Charlie and Molly, and I hope very much you've enjoyed the commentary. We're still hoping to hear from one or two of the protagonists. In fact, let's take a look while they're on a break for the TV cameras. Let's have a look at what's happened here. It's been a remarkable game. Now the BBC have this our live match down as extra time. I can tell you straight away we're not going to extra time because Aston Villa have won it by 2-1. Now there's been a few shocks avoided, I'm afraid, tonight, and it's not looking too good. Well, we had we were saying that Crewe were in charge against Bolton. Crewe 1, Bolton 2 is a result, so Bolton have snuck through in a very last second at Gresty Road. At Ellen Road it was in the end a pretty comfortable victory for Leeds United. Comfortable 4-1 winners tonight over Port Vale, so they go through. Oldham against Burton is still playing, and I think Matt Clark was probably right. These games have gone absolutely mental, but no shocks, I'm afraid, at the moment. Oldham 2, Burton Albion 3. That's still going on right now. 6 minutes of time added on in that game, but Boundary Park. Oldham had reached this final in this competition back in 1990. But heartbreak for Walsall, I'm afraid, at Bramall Lane, where they led 1-0 for so long, and then Sheffield United with late goals to send them through by 3-2. In fact, we'll tell you the scorers, in fact, of what happened in the other games. Let's start at the Gresty Road. Porter had put Crewe Alexander in front just before half time, but 2 goals, one from Armstrong and one from Derek, has won Bolton Wanderers the tie. At Ellen Road, however, it was a bit of an open and shut case, in all fairness. Leeds United winning by 4-1. Tonga put, in fact, Alonso had put, Alonso with a hat-trick. He scored after 12 minutes. Then Tonga equalised for Port Vale. Then Alonso scored after 60 and 62 minutes to complete his hat-trick, and Ekabuman has made it 4-1, so Leeds United comfortably through to the next round. At Boundary Park, that's just finished. Oldham 2, Burton Albion 3, and here's what happened. Varney put Burton ahead after 47 minutes. Green equalised after 55. Then Davis put Oldham ahead after 67 minutes. London equalised 2 minutes later on 69, but a penalty from Akins, I should say, 4 minutes from the end, has won the tie for Burton. A real classic second half display from both sides, it looks like, at Boundary Park tonight. And in our final, and we're out to round up the final game, and Bakayoko, and heartbreak for poor old Walsall, who looked for so long to be going through. They took the lead as early as the 13th minute through Bakayoko, and they held on to that lead until the 74th minute. Roberts put through his own net. 3 goals in 8 minutes saw Sheffield United just about through. So Roberts, after 74 minutes with an own goal, put Sheffield United level. Then Thomas put United in front after 79. Lafferty made it 3-2 after 82 minutes. And Otsuma pulled one back from the penalty spot in the first minute of time added on at the end of the second half. But Walsall, very, very unfortunate not to have even forced extra time, and or possibly a shot run. So they'll be a bit disappointed tonight, but Walsall can feel proud as well, as Oldham gave, and Crewe and Colchester. They really gave their higher league opposition a real good game tonight. So there we are. That's the situation. Just the one tie left to be played, and that's at Gig Lane tomorrow night. That's between Bury of the that's Bury of League One, I think, and Sunderland, who have just come down from the Premiership. So could well be a humdinger of a match there tomorrow. The draw will take place that very same evening. As for our live games continue on this YouTube channel, and we begin with our first live Premiership match of the Premier League match, I'd say, of the season, and that is between Arsenal and Leicester City, Friday night, 7:30, only on this YouTube channel, and we hope you can join us for that. We are trying to get some reaction from the tunnel area here in Colchester, as we await the two managers, and then live, well, not live, but delayed commentary of Burnley's first match of the season against Chelsea. You'll be able to see that on or hear that rather on Monday afternoon, because it will be a delayed game. And of course, a week later we'll have more delayed action from Burnley to our first visit to Turf Moor, as we take on West Brom, and then finally we go to Wembley as we play Tottenham Hotspur a week later. And we'll also have some more live action as well in September. We'll try and bring you an England game. Let's hear from Jed Steer, the Villa goalkeeper. He's talking to Sky Sports.
Turned out as the man of the match. How pleased were you with the performance?
Yeah, my job's to keep it out of the net. I'd conceded one, obviously disappointed with that, but yeah, the conditions weren't great, but you can't affect that, and just got to keep going.
And how much did that early penalty save give you a boost?
Yeah, obviously it's always nice to save a penalty, but the lads were brilliant in front of me. When things did come off me, they were quick to clear it, so full marks to them as well.
And obviously the club has conceded late goals on a number of occasions over the last year or so. How much of a relief to hear that final whistle?
Yeah, obviously it's always a relief when you're winning to hear that final whistle. So yeah, obviously we dug in deep there, and it was a tough game, tough conditions, and overall lads did brilliant.
You've had a difficult couple of years. Your first game for Villa in over 2 years, injuries and all sorts of things. You feel you're going to get a chance this season?
Yeah, I just want to play well. When I get the opportunity, I want to play well. So I'm pleased to get man of the match tonight. But hopefully I'll get the next cup game, and see what happens.
Well, here is the Carabao man of the match. It's quite heavy, so make sure you don't drop it.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Yes, man of the match it is for Jed Steer from the television guys. He is the Carabao Man of the Match. That's the name of the sponsorship of this tournament. And Villa, who first won this competition in 1961, in the very first running of this competition, this event, well, they're through tonight. Winners, of course, in 1961, 75, 77, 1994 and 1996 are now on the way in 2017-18 in this competition. He made some great saves. The penalty save in the first half, that save from towards the end in the 82nd minute when it got a deflection and he turned that away. It was a terrific effort, but a really good first class performance from Jed Steer. Did really well and really kept Colchester at bay. If we hadn't have had a good night, then I think we would have still been live with extra time, but as it happens, it's not to be for Colchester, but at least the game was finished, and it was a good cup tie, great for the neutral like myself, and it was a great interesting first half. Talking points now, when I heard the television guys say about Hogan's goal, Hogan wasn't interfering with play initially. Obviously the goalkeeper had lost the ball, and then there was probably the only question mark I would have over the first Villa goal was Green interfering with players. Hogan knocked the ball across towards the goal because Green tried to slide in there. Now he did look offside, but obviously it's a grey area with a second phrase of offside. And then there was the issue with the second goal. Perhaps was there a foul in the build-up? First of all, by Bree, because he went in there and he looks upside, but then it looked as if it was a foul. That's what I initially thought, but when you look at it more closely, Adoma is offside. So as that ball's played, Adoma does look offside, and I failed to pick that up in the commentary earlier. And to be fair, I think poor old Kent can be a little bit unlucky because he was well positioned, but it's nothing that he could have done. But to be fair, this was the goal that put them back in it at 2-1. Corner in from the left hand side, Kent winning the header, and then it came here to Reed, who struck it with his left foot. It was going towards the goal, but it was a good job really. Kyle Reed's shot actually came to Kent, because it turned from his personal point of view, the own goal wiped that out in his mind and got them back in the game. They threw everything at the Villa defence in the second half, but to no avail. So here we are. Let's get another interview, shall we? I think, and it's going to be John McGreal, who's the Colchester manager, again speaking to Sky Sports.
Minute really, I think right the way through for the full 90. I thought we've shown a great account of ourselves, always in the game, even though the scoreline at 2-0. I thought we were really in the game, and we've kept pushing them towards the end, and a little bit of luck either way because we got an equaliser, but it wasn't to be. But yeah, really proud of the players tonight. They put in a terrific performance.
Was it a foul on your keeper, do you believe, for the first goal?
Well, I don't know. I haven't had the chance to see. What I do know is I know the second goal is offside. I've been told that. I need to look at the first one with the goalkeeper. But again, decisions like that go against you, and the character of the young team that we've got, bounce back, and unlucky not to get something off the game, I thought.
Your club worked so hard to get this game on. Still positives though at the end of this result?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, from the chairman through to the groundsman, getting the covers on early morning. A little bit of thought in. With the rain that we've had, they've done terrifically well to get the pitch playable, and we wanted the game on. We need a game. Club like ourselves, we want to entertain the Villas, and it's a good crowd here tonight. And I thought, it was a great game of football. They've had a good part of the game second half, but I thought we adapted well when we changed the shape, and I'm thoroughly pleased with it.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
That's John McGreal. He thinks the second goal is offside. I have to concur with him on that, and certainly he hasn't seen the first goal, which may have been a foul on the goalkeeper. In fairness, McClaren has been only said, well, he went for it, which makes him active, but there was no foul. So McClaren reckons there wasn't a foul there. I have to say, he was entitled to go for the ball. Hogan, best of all. And in the end, it turned out the way it went for Villa on the first goal, he says. There's no doubt there was an offside decision. I thought it was an unfair tackle there by Bree, but there you go. So let's hear from Steve Bruce now, talking to Sky Sports.
That's saying how tricky it was tonight for you.
Very tricky. I mean, it was difficult conditions. We've got a bit of a makeshift back four with a couple of people who haven't been playing for months really. So it was always going to be difficult, and yeah, fair play to Jed. He's been out a long time and worked extremely hard and pulled off 2-3 good saves, which obviously has won us the match.
Yeah, first game for over 2 years. Remarkable that he was so sharp, wasn't it?
Well, he's worked extremely hard, and when you get the rewards like he's just done tonight, there was a long time, you know, the first week I came to the club, he ruptured his Achilles, and he's worked extremely hard to get back where he was. We've seen glimpses of him in Germany a couple of weeks ago. You know, he wanted to go out and play, and we stopped him doing that, and I'm glad we've done that, because he looks a very decent goalkeeper.
Was it a relief to hang on to that lead at last and hear the final whistle?
Well, it was difficult, and the conditions, I think you wouldn't have sent a lifeboat in that, would you? I mean, it was ridiculous. I've never known anything quite like it for an August evening. Ridiculous, and it made it very, very difficult. And to be perfectly honest, we made far too many mistakes, and it was a night for mistakes, and we made too many. To be fair, so did they, but we've got away with it.
Yeah, apart from the win, what have you got out of this game?
Well, it's great for the young ones. You know, there's about 7 or 8 who are 19 and under. So in that respect, it's done them the world of good. It's given them a taste of what it's like to play in a cup tie in real football, and well, real football in the right way. I mean, so in that respect, it's been decent. That's the highlight for me, is the return of Richie Delat. Is another one been out for a year. Jed Steer out for a year. Big Chris Samba hasn't played for a year. Bjornsson hasn't played for 5-6 months, and then we've got 8 or 9 of the rest. 20 and under, so in that respect it's been a good workout.
You have got a very big squad. I know you're trying to shift players. Is there any news on possible departures?
Well, it looks as if Marvy's off. That looks as if it's very, very close anyway. We pulled him off the bus this morning. That's been lingering around. He's off, and there's Bakuna's another one where we've got interest from a championship club, so that could be something there too. So we'll see what develops.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
So there we are. Before we go tonight, we got some breaking news from Mag Claret. Thanks for that, Chris. We'll give him credit for that. Liverpool have actually rejected a £90 million bid from Barcelona for Philippe Coutinho. So obviously Liverpool digging their heels in on that particular deal. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as that continues. But really disappointing news really to come out of Turf Moor today. Andre Gray has left the club and has joined Watford. If you want to hear the rant on that particular subject, tune in to my other video and my rant from earlier on this afternoon if you want to look at that. Obviously keep your comments clean on that one too. So that's it from me tonight, from this game anyway. Thank you very much. Join me again for another for more live commentary, where from, yes, you've had your say on it too. I'm sure we'll have a say on it on LTF when we reconvene with that series. Don't forget, LTF on Saturday will be me and myself, and Chris will be filming that tomorrow night, and we'll be there. It will be on his YouTube channel, in fact on our new YouTube channel called LTF. So we'll leave the LTF channel in the description below for you guys to follow. The second round draw will be on tomorrow as well. And live Premier League football on Friday night between Arsenal and Leicester. I'll be live from 7:30 for the game at the Emirates, the first match of the new Premier League season. Hope you can join me then. Join me and Chris McClure 94 for the LTF, only on the LTF channel on Saturday. Well, as I say, we'll leave a link in the description below in this particular stream. But until then, have a very good evening, guys. Take care. We'll see you Friday. See you for LTF, and of course delayed coverage on Monday of Burnley's first match of the season as we go to Chelsea. So plenty to look forward to. So in August on both Mag Claret and myself channels, and hopefully you can join us for more. Well, join me for more football commentaries very, very soon. As I say, I'll be here on Friday for Arsenal versus Leicester. Until then, have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and it's good night from me as Villa go through to the next round of the League Cup in a dramatic cup tie at the Western Homes Community Stadium. From from me then, for now, till Friday that is, have a very good night and we'll see you on Friday. Take care. Cheerio.